Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we are covering our final day of the Get Published Summit. And again, for more information, you can go to thegetpublishedsummit.com. The first thing we are going to do is to recap day 4, and then we're going to talk about our final day of the summit and something very special that we have planned this weekend in celebration of Mother's Day. So on day 4, we kicked off with Ashley Emma talking about how to build your author platform with BookFunnel. And Ashley actually gave us a full tutorial about the process on how you can set up your account easily to grow your list immediately, because that is the main benefit of BookFunnel, is to help you with building your list. And speaking of lists, our next speaker was Eric Vanderholt talking about email list building 101, and he covered the importance of list building to build your audience and the best strategies to build your list quickly through proven methods. We talked about guesting on different summits, being on podcasts, and also doing author swaps with other authors to help build our respective lists. Then we had Daniel Hall talking about selling multiple training programs on the back end. He also talked about how to successfully market your training programs, and something very unique, and that was how he has spoken on multiple cruises for free thanks to his books over the years. So it's a great conversation. Highly recommend that you check it out. Then we talked with Anita about participating in multi-author book collaborations and how it can result in many business opportunities. And then Anita asks one question in particular with her multi-author books. And she asks this to each author and wants them to answer it. And that is, what would happen if you were to start from scratch? So no email list, no products, and nobody knew who you were. And what you would do in the next 90 days to grow quickly as possible, and how to make money by selling your knowledge. So check that out. It's a great interview. And then we had our bonus masterclass session with Kat Wonders. Kat is the head of Wandering Words Media, which is a fantastic editing service. And we talked about how you can grow your author business during COVID-19, but also about how you can either self-edit your book or find an editor at a fair price. Because one of the biggest challenges that you will have is finding a good editor. And trust me, I've found some amazing editors, and I have found, let's just put it nicely, some not so amazing editors that I fired after the first round. So that is definitely one of the challenging things you have to look at when you are wanting to share your story with your book, if you want to go at this yourself, because finding an editor is one of the biggest challenges. So check out the session with Kat, and then let's talk about today. So today we lead off with Jesse Tevlo about how to sell over 500,000 copies of your book. So Jesse covers that process. He's also going to talk about how to build your email list through doing book swaps with other authors. So I know we touched on that briefly with Eric's session, but with Jesse, we took a little deeper dive into that process, because I've actually taken part in multiple book swaps, both with Jesse, with Jonathan Green, with Ray Brem, and several others. And it is a great way to start to build your list, because that is the one thing that you need to make your primary focus as you start this author journey, is to build your list as soon as possible. And then my good friend Brian Acosta and I talked about digital marketing strategies to promote your book effectively. And he covers 3 key digital marketing strategies to promote your book, both during the book launch and then long-term once your launch has ended. Then we started our bonus masterclasses. Our first one was with Ray Brem about growing your author business during COVID-19. Another thing that we talked about was how he created a highly successful virtual summit over the past month, and how you can too. And Ray has been instrumental in helping us with our summit, and it's made a huge difference, to the point that Ray and I are actually working together to help people with their own virtual summit. So if you are looking to potentially want to host your own summit, I highly recommend that you check out that interview, because virtual summits is that third pillar of authority that I always talk about. That first level being your book, the second level being a podcast, and your third level having that virtual summit. And then we had Jesse Tevlo in his bonus masterclass about growing your author business during COVID-19. We talked about some things, obviously, that are going on right now, and of course the P word, pivot, some of the things we can do to focus to help grow our businesses. And also we talked about how to create your book quickly. We talked about the 50-50 ratio, where you want to have 50% storytelling, 50% concept, and how you can create a book quickly. And again, you've heard us talk about that throughout this week with this podcast series, because you can create a book within 10 days. Check out the previous episodes for particulars about that, because you can easily build your own book out in 10 sessions. And then our final session of the Get Published Summit closing session, which I had the privilege to present, and that was about our GPS recap and next steps. So I recap GPS, and I also talk about the next steps for your author journey. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out the summit, that's okay. What we are going to do in honor of Mother's Day, starting Saturday morning, we are actually going to unlock every single session of the Get Published Summit. And you can go to thegetpublishedsummit.com/encore. Again, it is thegetpublishedsummit.com/encore. And you can actually, over Mother's Day weekend, check out every one of our sessions. So I'll give you 2 days to go through everything, check out the information. There's also an invitation if you would like to upgrade and get the premium pass, then you're welcome to do that as well. But at minimum, you've got the weekend to check out all 25 sessions, and it's something that I highly recommend. We did not do this with the previous summit. We actually ended it on the Friday. So we wanted to do something special for this weekend in celebration of Mother's Day, and that is our gift. We want you guys to check out all the sessions if you have the chance to this weekend. Again, you can go to thegetpublishedsummit.com/encore. And next week, we'll be back to our regular schedule. We've got a great group of amazing guests, and we'll be starting on Monday with episode 550, which these numbers to me are just amazing, because who would have thought roughly 2 years ago when we started this summit, we'd be celebrating 550 episodes. So we have some great episodes coming up, and I hope you guys get the opportunity to check out the Get Published Summit. Again, you can go to thegetpublishedsummit.com to check it out, and also accept the challenge. I laid down a challenge where you could finish your book in 10 days, where you focus on one talking point per day. Those are your chapters. And then all you need is roughly 10 to 12 minutes of audio, which you can record with the voice memo recorder on your phone. And then you can upload to a transcription site like otter.ai, OTTER.ai. And you can actually get your transcripts back within 5 to 10 minutes. And you've started your process. So trust me, this process is excuse-proof. And if I can put out 16 books in the world myself, I know that you can as well. So as always, I wish you guys all the best in your author journey ahead. Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.